go down that path. And they keep her spirit and her daughter's spirit and life alive. Same thing you can do with your coworker.
Yeah.
Think of all the things you learn from them.
Mm-hmm.
Think of all the little quirks, the little laughs, the little jokes, the wittiness, whatever it may be.
Right.
You keep their spirit alive in us, Just like Matt and I just yesterday were making comments that Dad used to all the time. We were just cracking up laughing.
Right.
Cracking up laughing.
It's keeping his spirit alive. I mean, that's what we can do. I mean, you're absolutely right. And we went ahead last week when we were there. We kept trying to forge, and press on and do the things that we had planned for our meeting, and everything from a silly bingo game to just the work that needed to be discussed. So it was just bringing together our team so that we could all be in the same city at the same time. And how ironic that we were there, to be able to help the people that lived and worked with him every single day. And and because mine was more obviously a remote relationship. We had conference calls and things like that. He would come into Cleveland to see our team. He called in every time to do an introductory call for the new people that were coming on board. And so what was weird yesterday is when I was telling this, and as I was telling it, I'm getting choked up, right, in front of new strangers. I've never met these people before. But at the same time, I am introducing our company and how amazing it is, and that we know how to carry through his vision and share stories with them about him, which is exactly what you said. And Todd, it was the first time in a week, even though I was trying to be there and do my thing last week, it was the first time that I felt like it had come full circle to where now I'm hearing their stories and how, this position and how it's supposed to help them and how they're excited about their new career. It wasn't about me anymore. And it was, it was awesome. So thank you. I mean, I agree. And, Todd, I'm just going to tell you, last night on Facebook, there was a guy in my feed that said he was so sad and so depressed he didn't want to be alive anymore. And
goodness.
Oh yeah. And everybody started feeding, you got to call this phone number, you got to do this, you got to do that. People were sharing their prayers and stuff like that. Boy, if that doesn't give you perspective and thoughts on that?
There is a lot of avenues of depression, and there are some that I have seen that have just literally physically seen that are just crippling to people. Mm-hmm. Also, with depression, it goes back to and I don't mean this in a negative way. They literally can't help it. I've been there. Mm-hmm. It goes back to any type of gratitude. You're literally drowning and killing yourself with a sense of self-pity. That same stuff, if I didn't have bad luck, I wouldn't have any luck at all kind of thing.
Right.
Nothing's going right for me. There's a whole thing, but on the same token, you're not doing anything to fix it. And that goes back to people wanting to just take a pill. Good God, I'm so depressed. Give me something.
Yeah.
We have to work. We have to keep our feet moving. We have to try to focus on the bigger picture. And it's hard, and not everybody can do it. I couldn't do it alone. I needed we, and that was a big thing for me because I was always self-containing. I always handled things in-house. Doesn't work that way. Not for me anyway. And you got to reach out for help. And that what he did was a cry for help. Put it on Facebook. Usually when people say that they don't want to live anymore, don't want to be here anymore, they do. They just don't know what to do. They don't know how to help themselves. They don't know how to fix it. When people are dead set in that mindset, you're not going to hear from them, and it just happens, as tragic as it is. But that was a cry for help, and to see good people, at least, putting out prayers, the phone numbers, anything to, but in the end all be all, it's up to them to pick that phone up or to stick that hand out or whatever it may be. Life's not all peaches and rainbows and stuff, and some people handle things differently. Some people handle things harder than others. And it goes back to that thing with me, being maladjusted to life. I just chose drugs and alcohol for my solution of things. The only problem was I have a physical allergy to it, don't know how to stop.
Yeah.
And which leads me to state-funded vacations and all kinds of things of that nature, and eventually death. But we as human beings, and how some people are raised, not raised. People can say they're a product of their environment and so on and so forth. Well, it comes a point in time, well, if things are that bad, and that's what you came from, then I suggest you start making your environment a product of you and leading by example and not, take the pity sucker out of your mouth. Just stop it. And it's hard to do. It's easy to say and hard to do. But at the end of the day, we have to take accountability for ourselves, for our actions. I fall short all the time. I just went through a whole little phase a few weeks back of feeling a morbidly overwhelming sense of insecurity, like in life, in my relationship, everything.
Yeah.
And it was just like, what do I do now?
Mm-hmm.
Am I doing everything okay? Am I being okay? Am I being too nice? Did I do something wrong? That kind of shit. That's not me. But it happens, and I worked through it. And how I worked through it was communicating, not only with my significant other, but with others, and working through it. I can't get stuck in self. I can't stop and internalize everything. It'll just go away. That's what we hope for. We like to stick our head in the hole and hope it goes away. It doesn't work that way.
Right.
But if I can offer one bit of advice, man, if you're feeling some type of way, if you're going through something, if something changed abruptly, get that hand out, pick that phone up, especially in today's day and age with social media and smartphones and all the avenues there are for help. My God, use it.
Well, here is a number that was posted we're here in Ohio, Cuyahoga County Crisis. It's 216-623-6888. 216-623-6888. Todd, you can't. I'm really glad that you externalized that and you talked about it, because that kind of thought process, for me, and what has helped me is when I get feelings of insecurity, jealousy, negativity, the blame, shame, woulda, coulda, shouldas, all of that surmount. If we internalize that, to me, those are doses of the adversary. And I think that the adversary shows up in all these different ways. You and I are doing this show. It's a good thing. We're talking to people. We're hoping to help one. You're going out there and you're talking to people all the time, giving of yourself and your thoughts and your experiences, even on the days when you don't feel like it. And those are all, to me, in my definition, and I'm feeling pretty darn good about this, is that those are positive outbound activities. So when we do those things, even when we don't feel like it, you're getting up in front of crowds even when you're afraid and finding the courage to do so. Those are, the adversary, however form, those really annoy him. And so what he does is, even when we're doing those things, he can plant little sparks, little seeds. It's like these little injections. You can be standing up there making a difference in front of 100 people, and he can still go, Zing, what do you know? Hey, hey, this is me. Hey, and that's what he does. And he or she, adversary, I'm just assuming, it's this being. I don't like to say that it's a male, but it's they're effective and they're really good at what they do. And so I feel like that it is spiritual warfare. And that, yes, Todd, you are doing amazing things. And yes, you do have an awesome relationship. And of course, we have our ups and downs and got to work things out because we're human beings. But the adversary, just like with this person that I was talking about, got a hold of this person. And it had something to do with work, with his job. And starts manipulating that negative thing that happens and just plays on it. It's a party for the adversary. Hey, I got you while you're down. Take this, take that. And while you're trying to pick yourself back up, like you said, head in a pillow, fetal position in bed, they love that. They love kicking you down. You're tired. They start actually telling us how we feel. And and the only combat to that we have in our arsenal is to get back up and try again. It's not that we won't feel those things. People say to me, don't you ever? Yes, yeah, that's kind of why I'm being honest and open about the tragedy that happened last week. But you know what, Todd? You said it very well. Yes, it was in my circle and it hurt, but there are really sad and bad things going on in the universe that can also attack our spiritual selves. And we can't get too caught up in that. That's why I'm trying in a little bubble, and I'd love for it to grow. But in this little space that you and I have created on Tuesdays and hopefully more often, we just got to keep putting it out there. That's our only weapon against what the adversary can do. And shame on the adversary for trying to do that to you. You kick him in the ass. Mm-hmm. You're working too hard.
Yeah,
you got too much. We're counting on you, man.
I just had it.
Isn't that terrible?
Yes, and I just had it last night. That adversary in me. Her and I went up to the natatorium and to swim, and this was like for a workout swim.
Uh-huh.
I kept wanting to stop, and she was, the only reason you want to stop is because you're tired, not because you can't do it. It's because you're tired and you don't want to do it. Keep going. And I'm like, damn it, and she'd take off. I'm like, okay. And it was back and forth, and I'm like, I'm done. She goes, no, you're not. Five more laps, and we can be done. 5 more. 5. I'm like, for the love of cheese, I'm going to drown. No, you're not. You're just tired. You just don't want to do it. Keep going.
Wow.
No, yeah, she's a kind of a beast in that nature. She won't let me quit. She won't let me quit. And I was bitching the whole time.
Right.
And I'm like, I'm not your age, and I'm like this, that, the other thing, and you don't know what my body's doing. She goes, your body's fine because you've been doing it. Keep going. You're just tired.
Wow. That's
yeah.
And thank you so much for sharing that, because we all have a dose of that. I mean, in the past year, I've lost weight, worked out, and everything went to mush when I fractured my ankle, and we can get inside ourselves and we can let them tell us, you're not ready yet, you're tired, whatever, what have you. The doctor gave me the release, okay? He said it's okay. Just don't jump on it, Bev. But you can do anything.
Right.
Yeah, but I'm scared. I am scared, Todd. I am afraid of fracturing that again. In my tiny little baby Bev world, I am afraid of that happening again. And I got to get my ass together and do this.
You want to hear a funny story about that? When I very first got hurt, and all my first 9 surgeries were done, these physical rehabilitation ladies came in and said, they're telling me that they're going to get me stood up and, talking about, PT, physical therapy. Mm-hmm. And I'm thinking they are talking about what we're going to do like next month or something. They start moving my pillows around. I'm like, what are you doing? I have casts on my armpits, my fingers, my legs in traction. She goes, we're doing this. Listen, I called them everything but their names. My mom